So let's take you through the starting order for the last senior Rotax final of the season. It's an all-British front row with Lewis Gilbert and Sean Butcher on the front row. Kai Hunter rounds out the top three for Great Britain and has got Germany's Janis Diak alongside Andrej Petrovic and Farin Mega on row 2, with Kai Hilets and Alexander Abkazava on row 4. Lachlan Robinson and Spain's Philip Vava round out the top 10. Rafael Enhofer, Rashid Ghanem, Matilda Olsen, Zach Scowler, Zombor Kovac, James Johnson, Elia Galvanin, Alfie Briggs, Sam Van Thiel and Sam Bergstein. A big thank you to Alfie Briggs' mum for contacting me via YouTube of all places during the break. Glad that you've been watching along with us. Sem Argun, Niklas Hanke, Nico Hanke, Arno Domingo, Matteo Richter, William Christensen, Mats Johan Overhoff, Lukas Schlegel, Nevio Fischer, Matthias Korn, Bas Janssen, Jason Leung, Berit Arends, Mette Argun, Wood Kirstens, Matteo Pianizzola, and last but by certainly no means least, Finland's Miro Halika brings up the rear of the grid. Down from the commentary box position, I've got one of the Craft Motorsport family beside me. I see quite a few more standing on the podium to my immediate left-hand side, watching on. Right, you know what? I'm going to bring this man in. Luca Costa, come on over. Right. Firstly, how are you feeling? You feeling nervous?
Yeah, but I'm pretty nervous because I think if Lewis is performing well, he can go for the first position in the day ranking. So obviously I'm nervous, yeah. And also Janne. So let's see what we can do.
Brilliant. Thank you, Luca Costa, our Project E20 senior champion who will head to Portimao later on this year. But, ladies and gentlemen, wait for the fireworks. Here we go into the tramlines. Revs rise. Lights are out. We are off and underway. Great start by both Lewis Gilbert and Kai Hunter as their line astern going into turn 3 for the first time. Clearance to the inside. He's round about 5th or 6th position. And there is one driver struggling at the back end of the field. There's another one that looks like their bumper is slightly askew as well. So the drivers making their way rather carefully through turn number 6 for the first time. So second and third in the championship up for grabs. And now Janis Diak has got past the third place driver, and that is Kai Rilets. Rilets already up to 3rd position in the early phase of the race. And he started on the inside row, and that was on 7th position. So alongside him, he had Alexander Abkazava. And now the fighting really starts behind the Belgian, the 16-year-old, in his first season as a senior Rotax driver. But at the moment, Lewis Gilbert starts to stretch a lead over Kai Hunter to the tune of 0.6 of a second. Hillet's in third. It's 3 wide across the start-finish line and down into turns 1 and 2. I noticed a couple of KR Sport carts there, possibly including the likes of Rashid Ghanem and Philip Vava. Farin Mega trying to get through. That's possibly on Janis Diak. And Petrovic has got through. Mega now slingshots up the inside of the 339. It's going to be Janis' final race in the Euro Trophy, and Farin Mega nearly has a little bit of a touch with his countryman there. Then the 393 of Alexander Abkazava. And there has been a spin. There has been a spin, and that is Janis Diak. Janis Diak down the order is tumbling. And Sean Butcher has went onto the grid and has decided not to take any participation in this race. So now across the line, Lewis Gilbert now gunning for higher than where he was placed. He came into the championship 6th in the standings into this final round, and now he's got himself a ringside seat Unfortunately, well, Janis Stiak has ended up in 22nd position. Lachlan Robinson looking to try and see if he can get past a couple of drivers in front, one of which includes Rafael Renhofer, James Johnson in his final race after a 14-year career, now ahead of the Dubai-based driver. Now doing some driver coaching, I understand, with Danny Brandt from Brand Racing over in the Emirates. So 11 minutes to go. Matilda Olsson is struggling at the moment. And she looks over her right shoulder. There's Alfie Briggs, and he's battling away. Looks like Zach Scowler and Matteo Richter up the inside of the Brit. But look at the switchback from Alfie Briggs. Is he going to get past the pair of them? No, he gets past Richter and switches to the outside of Scowler. Everyone's trying to use the curbs, and look at Alfie Briggs. He's like a rat up a drain pipe. He got round the outside of the two drivers that sent it through on the inside of him, and now he's closing on Zach Scowler. Gilbert has now extended his lead. Now, this is getting interesting because Kai Gillertz now is in third position behind Kai Hunter, who's in second. But Gillertz is about a second away from the Brit from Dan Holland Racing, based out of Sunderland. More positional changes happening, as I think Elia Galvano's just had someone pass him. And it's getting 3 wide out of turn 6. They say that 2's company, 3's a crowd, especially through turn 7. Oh, they're definitely pushing and shoving out there right now. It's not getting any easier. 4 minutes down, 10 to go, plus an additional lap. And we've had Sem Van Til and Jason Learn call it a day as well, I'm afraid. So we're down to 32. Runners and riders. Now, Gilbert, I'm going to be completely honest here. I was waiting for someone to spring a surprise, and that has come from the driver that really, as a junior, very impressive. When he started in seniors, he had a bit of a tough time, but now he's leading the last race of the season. If anyone might remember when Matilda Olsson secured her second title back in 2020, Lewis Gilbert won the final race of the season. And there goes Matilda Olsson up the inside of both Rafael Renhofer and James Johnson at the same part of turn 5. And now Zach Scowler might be getting his 2 arms into the ring, and then Olsson just gets the hookup of traction on the rear wheels through turn number 8 and gets through on turn 9, and then she gets past, just for good measure, around the outside of the exit on James Johnson. So now that puts her into what is 12th place. So 8.5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. Lewis Gilbert has extended his lead on Kai Hunter, but keep your eyes on the man in third. Gillertz is pushing, and he's put in a 1:04.683. He was nearly half a second quicker, and he is gunning, and he's got the switch back through turn 6. Gillertz and Hunter now embroiled in the battle for second position. Through turn 7, Gillertz used the curbing. Keep your eyes on Gillertz when he comes out of turn 8, floors the throttle in the Sodi kart, gets through. Now Hunter trying to force his way past. Out of turn 10, the 2 are side by side into turn number 11. Hunter makes the steering adjustment, and Gillertz is off! Gillertz is off of turn number 11, but he manages to get in front quickly, and there just behind him is his teammate Vahir Mega, and that has allowed Andrej Petrovic to get through. Very, very close indeed. It just goes to show how much the limit of adhesion here, especially at turn 11. Andrej Petrovic found that out earlier on this week. Through turn 11, went off the tarmac, into the dirt, and then into the barriers. And Gillertz, great job by the young Belgian to keep the Sodi kart's wheels running and moving forward. So into turn number 7 comes Gillertz through turn 8, now into turn number 9. So with 6 minutes and 30 seconds still to go, Lewis Gilbert has a comfortable, commanding, incredible lead. And it now was 5.3 seconds. It's now nearly 5.9 ahead of Kai Hunter. Now Gilberts has started to re-pick up the pace. He's only 1.4 seconds behind the driver in third position, which is Andrej Petrovic. So a lot of drivers still making, well, still in the majority of the grid. We did have No Somebody Kovac and Sean Butcher pulled in. I decided, well, I'm going to keep that one for myself, because he very much had the celebration at the previous final where he had a commanding advantage where no one could deny him the title. 9 minutes down, 5 to go, plus a lap. Keeping an eye on what is happening between Andrej Petrovic and Kai Gilberts. And the rain has started coming down again. It is hitting the circuit a little bit more intense than it was this morning, where it was more like a slight shower. And there is a driver that has gone off of turn number 12. It looks to be well, it was an 8-2 that I noticed. That could be the 829 of Mete Argun from Austria. Then Philip Vava and Lachlan Robinson are now battling away. This is for 8th position. Robinson gets the switchback. Vava gets the traction coming out of the corner. Both under the same awning at KR Sports. And Petrovic is now starting to close on Kai Hunter for 2nd position. Petrovic finished 5th in the first final. And that rain is starting to intensify. I can see the standing water puddle just before the gantry. And that rain is teeming down a little bit more, so the conditions are going to get even trickier over the next 3.5 minutes plus an additional lap. There is the man of the moment, the pride of Scotland, Lewis Gilbert, across the line to complete lap number 10. And there's a country mile between him and Kai Hunter. And now I'm seeing both Andrej Petrovic. Keep your eyes on Gilberts. Gilberts is now within 9/10 of a second of 3rd place. And then a further 1.3 seconds up the road is Hunter. And there is the young Serbian. And there is the young Belgian in 3rd and 4th, respectively, both running on the new, well, the Sodikart chassis that we saw earlier on this year. So with 2 minutes and 20 seconds still to go. Gilberts can get himself, he bumped the curbs, and Petrovic has swung it to the outside. Gilberts lost a little bit of momentum there, but he's still going to try and chase down the Serbian for that 3rd place. And that 3rd place could be the difference between being either 2nd or 3rd in the championship, because the way Lewis Gilbert is going, he is currently, because he's got 2 drop scores. So the 2 scores from Val d'Argenton, where the Scotsman didn't have any point scores on that particular occasion, go towards his drop scores. But of course the results that I'm looking at from my aspect are provisional, pending any technical in Sporting Czech's post-race. Into the last 90 seconds we head. And it has been a masterful weekend from Lewis Gilbert, who was not in the fight, well, was close to being in the fight for qualifying, but heat state was where his journey really started. He was the only driver to pick up 2 victories yesterday out of 3. But still, with his cumulative score, it put him on pole position for the first final. And he won that one. And here he goes through turn number 13, switches to the inside for turn 14, puts the hammer down, across the line, adjusts the flap on the right-hand side of his kart. But it has been a drive, and Lewis Gilbert has always said to me, Wackersdorf is one of my favourite tracks, and it shows. I'm sure he's got a Cheshire Cat smile underneath that brightly coloured race helmet of his right now. The timer is continuing to count down as the Scotsman makes his way through into turn number 11. And his gap over Kai Hunter is just over 7.8 seconds. But now we're going to get the last lap board of the 2022 Senior Rotax season, and it's seen first by Lewis Gilbert. Still remember when this young lad was racing with KR Sport back in the day with the B&L Karting Series finale in October 2018. Battling alongside the likes of Mike Van Vugt amongst others. Kai Hunter 7.7 seconds behind. Andrej Petrovic a further 9/10 behind in third. Kai Hillertz in fourth. Farid Mega rounding out the top 5. As James Johnson has got Janis Stiak for close company going across the stripe. But just a handful of corners to go. 2 wins in the heats, leading the ranking after yesterday. But for the pride of Scotland, Dorai's very own, the young man from Ayrshire in Scotland will now come out of turn 13. 1 more corner to negotiate. On the throttle, here we go. It's the double for the pride of Scotland, Lewis Gilbert. And I think possibly that puts him in the top 3 championship standings come the end of the season. Second goes to Kai Hunter. A noble fight from the driver from Sunderland, Andrej Petrovic, and I think Kai Hillertz might have also secured himself in the top 3 this season after a dynamite start for the youngster, just 16 years of age from Belgium. Farid Mega comes home to round out the top 5 representing Germany. Alexander Abkazava, Nico Handke, Lachlan Robinson, Philip Vava and Rashid Ghanem round out the top 10. Matilda Olsson managed to make her way up into what will be 11th position at the end of the race. Rafael Renhofer, but I have to give this man a big mention. After 14 years, the curtain is finally closed for one James Johnson in the 346 from Great Britain. He takes 13th place ahead of Janis Stiak, with Zach Scowler rounding out the top 15. Matteo Pianezzola and Elia Galvano round out the top 17, with Bennett Arens, Alfie Briggs and Miro Halika from the back of the grid to complete the top 20. Matteo Richter, William Christensen, Arnold Domingo, Nevio Fischer and Luke Kirstens ran at the top 25, with Max Sam Bergstein, Matthias Kron, Buzz Janssen, Mats Johan Overhoff, Lukas Schlegel being the last of the 30 classified finishers. Sem Argun, Mete Argun, Sem Van Til, Jason Leung, Sean Butcher and Zombor Kovac not making it to the end. Well, Sean Butcher didn't even take the start, and neither did Zombor Kovac. And as we conclude Senior Rotax, the DD2 grid has been welcomed by significant rainfall. It is teeming it down outside. There's our arc of the course with our official photographer on your immediate left. Hello, Nina Mega. She's done a fantastic job, has Nina. Of course, mum to fine in Senior Rotax, but she has been taking all the official photography for our 2022 season, so we can't thank her enough for braving all conditions. Come rain, come sunshine. And it is wet out there. So this weather has definitely deteriorated. There is a deluge of standing water here on the circuit, as we are just literally just over 60 seconds away from the DD2 finale for 2022. I'm sure that these drivers, as will the DD2 Masters drivers who will conclude the show, definitely be looking forward to getting out of their very, very soaking wet race suits after what we've had this week. Had a quick chat with Maxime Dedix and his mum, who introduced herself to me earlier on today. And she said, I just wanted to come and meet you. And I was like, whoa, more people meeting in the paddock with the commentator. Well, that's the whole thing. It's great to know the amount of people I've got to know over the past 5 seasons so far. And the Euro Trophy has been quite extensive. I think I've probably got into the 4 digits already, and then maybe some. But I probably have a list as long as both my arms, both my legs, probably my height in general.